Morning, happy Friday. Welcome to Friday Reflection. My name is Alethea Gay, and I am coach with Alexander Q. And every Friday we get to rest, reset, restore, and plan in our minds what we want for the next week, what we want for ourselves. Because as I normally say, you cannot change the behaviors of others, but you can control your reactions and your responses. So this is an opportunity to take ownership of that, to own it. So today is called the good fight. Today is called the good fight. So I began studying martial arts because I like the skill in kickboxing. And I wanted to learn more, not only about the skill, but the theory and the history behind it. I found it fascinating. But the truth is, I love a good fight. Let's just keep it 100, right? It took years for me to admit that too, because I was afraid of how that would sound coming from someone like me. But I love a good fight. I love a good fight. But the truth is, it can't just be any fight, right? We can't just I'm not just talking about scrapping in the street and all that kind of stuff. It has to be fair, right? It has to be fair. It has to be skillful. My most favorite fights are like the verbal wars between lawyers. I love that. I just admire the art and the skill and a good argument and knowing your facts and having all of your information in front of you. Oh, it's just fascinating. But what I've always had problems with is the one who shows up unprepared, right? So you have this good argument getting ready to get started, and then you realize that the opponent is unprepared. And a lot of times they're the ones who initiate the fight. They initiate it, right? And then they lack the intention, the skill, and the ability, and thereby expose their weakness in the fight. Well, today is all about Friday reflection. So it is shifting our view. So let's start with how I learned that it's important to have the skill set and the intention, because I've been that person. I've been that person who showed up for the fight unprepared. And one of the most memorable was in a fight I went in ready for with my boss. I had the emails, I had the printouts, I had the witnesses. I was ready. I was ready for a good fight, right? But I was very early in my career. And there was still, like I said, there's some skill to it, because it's not just having the information. It's not just having the skill set in terms of the physical materials. It's also having the patience and the ability to listen, not for your next response, but to really listen to what that other person is saying so that you have the right answers. So it was a searing email, and I felt I was wronged, and I was ready, and and I went in upset, like a victim, right? So automatically I went in expecting her to be on my side. So anyway, I go in the meeting with my boss, and I'm like searing, and I'm like, me, and this is what happened to me. And I'm ready. And the way she broke it down was in terms of the facts. And it was an eye opener, because I realized although I had the emails, although I had the witnesses, I really did not go in there with a complete skill set. I just went in there with the intention of being right. So let's talk about that, right? Because sometimes when that happens to us, we're like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything again. I'm not going into the battle. I'm not doing it. Nope. Or we never enter because we're like, nope, I'm going to get beat. I don't have what it takes. Da, da, da. So let's go back to that incident, right? What did I feel? What did I feel when she really just calmed me down by presenting the facts? And I guess I was a little wrong, right? But I felt attacked. I felt attacked by everyone I was at. And I even, at first, when she was breaking the issue down, felt attacked by her. And she wasn't one of the people who was against me, or she wasn't one of the people who was even a part of the email chain. And what did I really feel? I felt anger. I was in there with just my problem, right? And what was the underlying need? What did I need to feel? Well, I wanted to feel safe, not necessarily right, but I needed to feel safe, like someone had my back, and to feel comfort knowing the whole world wasn't against me, right? So, what were my circumstances? What were the current circumstance, or what were some of the, excuse me, the triggers that led to me feeling what I felt? Well, one, it was the current circumstances. I felt unseen. So having an email like that really felt like everyone's against me. They don't want to see me grow. And again, I was leading with anger, right? So that was one of the first issues. I felt unseen. That was a bigger issue. Then was the present issue itself. The email felt like a personal attack on me. And the way she broke it down, it wasn't. And then lastly, are my past experiences that lead to me feeling those feelings of attack when an event comes up like that. And my past experiences showed me that a correction delivered, right? A correction delivered, which was that email with the wrong tone or in the wrong form, is an attack. So if someone tries to correct me, it's an automatic attack, because guess what? I'm not right. And that is just not true. And that's what I learned that day. So today is called the good fight, right? The good F word. So let's shift our thoughts around that F word. Well, one, I have a passage that I want to share with you. It says, yet in all things, we are more than conquerors. And I'm purposely not finishing that passage. Yet in all things, we are more than conquerors. And that's Romans 8:37. So I don't know about you, but I like a good boxing match on TV, right? And I used to think, this is a little embarrassing, but I used to think that boxing, winning or losing, was solely based on knocking someone out. So if no one got knocked out, I was like, okay, well, I guess that's the end of the match. No one wins, no one loses. I just didn't know. I didn't understand there was more to it, right? I didn't know there was a criteria upon which the match is determined. So there's a point system. In fact, I wanted to dig a little deeper, because I said, well, what leads to a good fight, right? And according to the World Boxing Association, that criteria is one, effectiveness, right? Connecting with that opponent's vulnerable area. Two, attack, keeping the same level of aggressiveness throughout the match. Three is defense, neutralizing blows of that opponent, right? Block, right? Uh, the other one is technique. It is the ability, skill, and courage of a boxer to solve any difficult situation that may arise during the match. So you're even a thinker. You're thinking throughout that entire time, being strategic, right? And the last one is sportsmanship. It's not hitting the opponent in a state of helplessness or unfairly delivering blows. So even in what seems like just a typical boxing match, I'm trying to knock you out. There's skill to that. There's intention to that. And ultimately, that helps deliver that winner. But it doesn't hurt to have a good left. The bottom line is, boxing is about staying prepared and sticking to values. It's not losing sight of why you are there. It's understanding that there is more than just winning. It's being present at every moment during the fight. Now, I know this season right here, in terms of Roots to Wellness and these meditations, is about peace of mind. However, we will all confront conflict. We're going to come face to face with some conflict. The key to overcoming and maintaining our peace within is not running or denying that that conflict exists. No, that's not it. It's knowing you have all you need within to win. And based on that, you choose to either engage or find peace of mind in the fact that you decide to walk away. So let's go into a moment of reflection. And if there's something you want to reflect on in terms of an inner battle that you're having within, or a conversation that you need to have, just thinking about that criteria and showing up for the good fight. So sitting still, sitting upright, your shoulders away from your ears. You can roll your head from right to left or left to right. Do this a couple times and then find that upright position. Breathe in deeply through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. As you find that comfortable position, maybe you decide to sit in palms up. Again, taking another deep breath through your nose. And exhaling. How about we focus on just the breath, filtering that air through the nose for 4 counts. And exhaling for 4 counts. Again, filter that air through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2. And as you breathe, check in with different points in your body. See if you're holding any tension. Understanding that even to show up for the good fight, you have to be relaxed in the body in order to think clearly. Focus on your breath. And as you exhale, imagine the body softening and just flowing. Just flowing. All right, let's go into affirmations. Continue to breathe. Love casts out all fear. Inhale that in. I fight for love and I win. I fight for joy and I win. I fight for a life I desire and I have a life I love. My success depends on my personal beliefs. I believe I will win and I will win. Again, love casts out all fear. I fight for love and I win. I fight to find my joy and I win. I fight for a life I desire and I have a life I love. My success depends on my personal beliefs. I believe I will win, and I will win. Let's just take a minute. Just let comfort, confidence, and belief settle into our bodies. And let's begin to wake the body up. Wiggle the fingers, the toes. Maybe roll your shoulders up to your ears and just add a little movement to that. Maybe rub your hands together, activating that energy. Open your eyes when you're ready. And if there's one thing you leave this moment with in your mind and in your heart, is that if you believe you will win, you will win. Do not be afraid of a good fight. The light within me salutes and honors the light within you. Have a good one.